Who is this?
Welcome, Vikings fans. This is the FullSkol podcast.
Let's go!
And there it is.
Panda.
Back to life, back to reality.
Stupid Aaron Rodgers. Stupid turnovers.
Well, really, I don't even know. I mean, yeah, it was the turnovers, but it wasn't Aaron Rodgers. It was our offensive line. It was our patchwork
it really was.
Our patchwork of our line. Well, the defense didn't play very good either. No turnovers, all that kind of good stew-aff. But, yeah, I mean.
I can't believe we didn't turn Aaron Rodgers over at least once.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Well, I think looking at like early on in the game, they threw a stat out where he's like 80-some% of his passes are less than 5 yards. Like
yeah, I heard that. Yeah,
it's just boom, 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 boom right here. He's like his percentage above anything out close to 10 yards is like terrible. But I mean, if that's what works for him, well then that's what works. I mean, that's what you do.
Keep doing it.
I mean, that's like
chunk.
Yeah,
chunk all the way down the field. I mean,
that's maybe we need to take a playbook from that KOC. Do what we can do.
I feel like we did though. I mean, right away.
Oh, we did.
I was like, look at these short passes that we're doing. Like this is nice.
Mm-hmm.
We're finally doing what I was saying. Why don't we do this? Like other teams do it. There's a little 7 yards here, 4 yards there. Well, that's 11 yards.
Yeah,
easy math. And that first drive was great until that turnover, which thankfully we got that back. Till it wasn't a turnover, and then we settled for 3. But
beat the momentum, like killed the momentum. Right
turnover. Well, we did have other turnovers. I mean, turnovers killed us, and the front line killed us, and we lost by 3 points. I mean, it's when you lose the turnover battle. I mean, how many times? I mean, you talk about it. I mean, everybody talks about it. Like, you gotta win the turnover battle. I mean. You can't be giving them extra tries on offense and then we don't get extra tries. There's really not a whole lot to break down in this game, honestly. Like the only thing that's I'll let you rip if you got anything you want to bring up because I'm already moving on to the Browns.
Yeah, well, I mean, just I want to say when losing the NFL turnover battle, the team wins less than 20% of the time.
Yeah, I mean it makes sense. I mean it's just
we've said it time and time and time again. But honestly, looking at the numbers of the game, we dominated. So
that's what happened to Pitt. That's how the Pittsburgh won last week. Same thing.
Yeah,
they lost in every other metric. Still
total yards 372 to 313, passing yards 302 to 182, which of course he got like 70 of that with Jordan Addison that he should have gotten in the end zone if he wasn't looking back. I'm like, what are you doing? Just run. Rush yards they got us. Yards per play 5.2. They were 5.9. 23 first downs to their 19. And then here's a big one: third down efficiency 4 of 14. And Carson Wentz got sacked 6 times, and I didn't look that up. I probably should have, but I guarantee you that 3 or 4 of them was on third down when he's just got to throw the ball away. I mean, even if it's, just whatever, just, take a punt, or if we could, I think we were in field goal range at one point, and he doesn't. 72 total plays to 53. We had almost 20 more plays than they did. And then here it is: 6 sacks allowed to their 2. We had 3 punts. They had 3 punts. Penalties hurt us. 8 for 82. They had 5 for 35. There's a half a football field right there. Just in penalties. The differential. And then interceptions thrown 2. Time of possession, we had 33. They had 26. So by the numbers, you would think if somebody just looked at that and said,
Right.
"Oh, okay, yeah, that looks pretty good." And I mean, in the end, it ended up being a close game. They put up a fight in the fourth quarter. I mean, 15 points in the fourth quarter. So they definitely had the capability to do it. But JJ had a huge. Let me look at the.
He had a good day.
Carson Wentz had 350 yards passing, 2 touchdowns and 2 interceptions, though. So Jordan Mason didn't carry the ball very well, 3.6. Justin had 10 catches for 126 yards, and he went third all time receiving behind Mr. Chris Carter and Randy Moss with 9,000 or seven
team
all-time Vikings. Yeah, all-time
Yeah,
Vikings. 7,645 yards. Randy Moss 9,300 and Chris Carter 12,000 yards. Of course, JJ is only in the start of his sixth season, so I mean he has 1,000 yards add onto that. He'll be real close to well, I guess you still got about $2,000 to get 1,800 or something to get to Randy Moss second all time. But anyway, so yeah, I mean, like you said, they were moving the ball well, and then of course the turnover or suspected turnover. Really, there should have probably been about 4 interceptions with the way Carson was playing. But the offensive line, we started off in a hole. Donovan Jackson, of course, had a wrist surgery the other day. He played through it in week 2. He's been out now for week 3 and 4. Gink is out with a bad neck. That's a problem because he had that in training camp. It kept him out. He's missed 2 out of the 4 games now. Ryan Kelly went out of the game with a concussion. Ryan Kelly played the first game. He got knocked out in the second game. He missed the third game, and he got knocked out of the fourth game with concussion. Second one in 3 weeks, and he's already had 5 in his career. I'm not sure how long he's been in the league, but that's Tua type of numbers, dude. That's like you're messed up in the head, bro. You're going to end up being
that's CTE for sure. So,
of course, Brian, and then the big one today was Brian O'Neill went down in the first quarter on a Will Reichert field goal attempt with a right knee, or I don't know what knee it was, but they fear it's an MCL. So they're having an MRI done in, I don't know if it's in Ireland or London, if they traveled to London or what, or if they're doing it there in Ireland or whatnot, how the team, whatever, but they're across the pond. And then I guess they'll decide if he's, if it's something serious, then they'll probably fly him home, I would guess. I don't know. Maybe send him commercially or something back to the States so he can get, if he needs surgery or what. I don't know. KOC generally in his press conference does not like to speculate, and he said MCL. Usually if they don't know for sure, they'll be like, we don't want to speculate on that, for the best. Yeah. And this one he said, well, I was talking to the training staff. He looked beat. Did you watch his press conference? It was a terrible feed. From Ireland, like the video and the audio, but he just looks spent. Like he looks tired already. So that being said, like the offensive line was, I mean, we were down 3 of the 5 that we are starters. I thought I had saved. Yeah. So the original starting 5 offensive line for the season in training camp and coming out of training camp, this is what we had hoped to have. Of course, Tristan Darisaw, Donovan Jackson, Ryan Kelly, Will Fries. Ryan Kelly, Will Fries are the 2 that came over from Indianapolis, and then Brian O'Neill. So Darisaw, of course, missed the first 2 weeks. Now he's back, which is the bright spot. I mean, he always does fine. Donovan Jackson went out with the wrist surgery in after week 2, so he's been out 2 weeks now. Ryan Kelly. Just talked about that with the concussions. Will Fries, he's been good. He's still in there. And then Brian O'Neill left with the knee injury this week. So more than likely Ryan Kelly is going to be out. And who knows? I mean, and then Brian O'Neill, I mean, that MRI, if that's anything kind of serious at all, I mean, it's going to be a couple weeks. So, really what I took from it as far as just the game, I mean, we look bad. We look bad, obviously, for 3 quarters. And in the fourth quarter, we put up 15. We made it a game at the end. Some questionable calls by Pittsburgh with the punt at the end of the game. That was kind of weird. I'm like, why wouldn't you give him a chance to kick it, or why don't you, go for it? It was like 4th and 1, and they were trying to draw us off sides and all this kind of stuff. I'm like, worst case scenario, we stop them. We still just get the ball right there. So really, they punted it out. It was like a 20-yard net punt because they were on our 40, and they punted it into the end zone, and so we got it at our 20. So it was like 20 yards different. I'm like, what do you like? Anyways, so whatever. And then it's just Carson Wentz just held the ball too long again. I did come away thinking that when JJ's healthy, all the conversation we had and all the talking heads about what happens to quarterback controversy, I think that went to bed. I think that really went to bed.
I mean, we talked about it. We said, like, if we win out, he wins through the bye, how do you start him?
Yeah.
But at this point,
yeah, he didn't. Yeah,
we're 2-2, and I don't know that we finish much better than 500 this season. At this point.
I mean, I'm probably with you that maybe a 9-7. Maybe we are 9-8. Maybe we get a game above, or maybe we go 10-7.
We're on that roller coaster. We're on the way down.
Yeah, we're on our way down again.
It's almost a must win, really, next week against the Browns. But if our defense struggled against Pittsburgh, the Browns' defense is legit.
Yeah, and the Browns got spanked today by Detroit Lions. We are tied for third in the division, tied with the Bears. The Bears won, so the Packers are playing tonight. They're 2-1. They're going to beat the Cowboys more than likely. I mean, they're in Dallas. So maybe.
I don't see Dallas,
but I don't see that. So they're going to go to 3-1. The Lions spanked the Browns today. I mean, just stomped them. So they're going to go to they're 3-1, and then the Bears won, so they're 2-2, and we're 2-2. So we're tied for the bottom of the division, unless somehow the Packers lose, and then we're all three tied at 2-2, and then Detroit's running away with it. So, it's not. It's definitely disheartening. I guess it's kind of not the end of the world that he didn't do well, and that last week was an aberration because the offensive line was there. It was pretty healthy.
Right.
Kelly was there. Brian O'Neill was there. Christian Darrisaw was there. He had the time, of course, the defensive turnovers. Isaiah Rodgers keeping on the defensive tip. He did block a field goal, which was kind of cool. Nothing other than that. The defense did not look really that good. They couldn't stop the run. DK Metcalf is a huge man. Like, his touchdown was just ridiculous. We couldn't tackle him for nothing, and he trucks Metellus into the end zone. I don't know. It's hard to put your finger on the travel. Going into this week, KOC was 4-0 in Europe, or the Vikings are 4-0 in Europe, and so it was bound to happen that we were going to lose. But it's hard to know how, when they travel, how it goes, how's this, how's that. But we're still there. Now we're going to Tottenham Stadium, which is, we have a winning record there too. We're undefeated there. So, maybe we can pull one out of the Browns. I think the bye, initially I looking at the bye and I was like, man, that's early. But I mean, I was glad that it was after the 2 Europe games, but I'm like, now that bye might come in real handy. We might be able to get a little healthy.
Get healthy for sure.
But it just showed that Carson Wentz definitely is not. Last week he was a product of a healthy offensive line. So, given the offensive line, whether we get healthy or not, you might as well just let JJ, because obviously he's more mobile. He's younger. He's got a stronger arm. Some of the passes that Wentz had, when he throws that ball deep, it's not really a pretty ball. There's not a lot of really good trajectory. He just throws that ball as high as he can. Like, he threw one to Addison. Addison was wide open. Or he threw one to, who did he miss? He missed Xavier Scott. Xavier Scott, I'm really big on him. He did not run the ball. He only ran the ball one time, but he was a wide receiver in college, and he's a converted running back. Apparently, this is his third season too. He was on the practice squad of the Vikings last year, and he was picked up initially by, I want to say maybe Indy or something. I thought he was a rookie, but he's definitely undrafted free agent though. How he got into the league, but I'm really big on him. I hope that they keep him around. And Jordan Mason to me is better than Aaron Jones. I love Aaron Jones. I think he's a great guy, but he is injury prone. I hope that we sign Jordan Mason to an extension. He's only like 26 years old, so he's still got a lot of gas up in the tank. And I love the way he runs. And those two, Xavier Scott and Jordan Mason, I think they could be a long running duo in the backfield of the Minnesota Vikings. Be productive. So definitely some of the high points, but it was painfully obvious that it doesn't really matter who's behind center. The offensive line is what it is. It's just going to be problematic. And so might as well let the kid come back in and let him give his chances and baptism by fire. And like you said, if we go 8-9 or 9-8, well, there you go. And the storybook, Jeremiah called it delusional after he listened to the podcast. You guys are delusional. Two Super Bowls in 5 years. And I'm like, yeah. I was like, dude, we've been fans our entire life. You got to give us a break, man.
It could still happen. You don't know. With the building blocks are still there.
I think we started 2-2 in 2017 when we went to the NFC Championship game in the Miracle. So really, all we gotta do is get in. If we get healthy, here's the thing about all of this. The thing about all of it is that on paper, if we get healthy and we get all 5 of our offensive linemen back and healthy, and that's at the end of the season, if we can just find our way in, we can cause some serious damage because all the offensive pieces are there. And if JJ comes back, I don't know where he's at. I know we talked about after the bye, but if he's running, I heard that he's potentially running the scout team this week. And so if somehow they feel like, hey, you're good enough to go, I have a feeling that Carson Wentz is going to wake up tomorrow morning and he's not going to be able to move his. He took a shot to his hand. He was rubbing his hand, and then he kept holding his ribs like for most of the second half. He got a shot to the rib. I have a feeling he wakes up tomorrow morning and he's just like, dude, I'm in a lot of pain and something ain't right, and they're going to go check him out and he's going to be hurting. So it might be Max Brosmer, or if JJ can go, maybe it's time to throw him back in there. But I have a feeling that we're going to definitely see him for the Eagles after the bye. I think JJ McCarthy is definitely going to come back in.
Man, I don't know if that's the game to put him back in.
Well, yeah, I kind of agree, but I think he gives us just by watching Carson today. There's a reason why he's been the journeyman backup, for the last 6-7 years or whatever. He's not that good. You know what I mean? He held the ball a little longer than he should. And he gets the ball out quickly. We talked about it last week, 2.1, boom, boom, boom. But when things break down, he holds it. You just can't take some of them sacks. And some of them sacks are on, second down. I'm like, throw the ball away and then try again. You gotta get rid of the ball. Right. And then the one time that he does, it's intentional grounding late in the game with a 10-second runoff and all that good stuff. I'm like, at that point, it's better to take the set, because at least you don't have the 10-second runoff. You already have the penalty yards and then the runoff. So just take the sack wherever it ends up at you. Okay, yeah, it's 3rd and 20, but at least it's not a 10-second runoff, and maybe you can still make a play. I mean, JJ Jets has made 4th and 18 plays before. Phenomenal one-hand catches, come down one-handed, and all that kind of good stuff. So, yeah. This one comes down to the offensive line, I think, and just the fact that the defense, we lost the turnover battle. It's just a tough one. I love the fight. I love the fight that they put up, but that's a good team.
Yeah, I mean,
the Steelers are a good defense.
Yeah, I mean, the defense, it's keeping them in. But they did the same thing last week. They got beat on all the numbers and still found a way to win. The defense kept them in it, and that's what happened.
Yeah,
this week too. But I don't know. I lost a lot confidence. I mean, we can win, and I'm right back up on my high horse next week. Who knows?
Yeah.
I feel like this is going to be a roller coaster season. I just, it's so much of it revolves around being healthy, but when we get new injuries, that's not helping, and new major injuries that could potentially be season ending. So
yeah,
it doesn't instill me with a ton of confidence. And as it comes down to McCarthy, at some point you're like, well, if the outlook does look like we're going to be a 500 ball club at best, well, then give the kid the reps, and it doesn't matter. If we're not going to make the playoffs anyways, who cares? Like, give him time to train him in for next season.
Yeah,
it sucks that week 4 we're already saying next season, but I'm just not seeing anything that gives me a ton of hope.
Yeah. I'm not ready to throw in the towel yet. I think that JJ still gives us probably a good chance to win. I think he's learned. I mean, that one quarter obviously is about the only thing that we have to see. But we go back to the Atlanta game, and the defense. I mean, the offensive line was still. I mean, that was week 2. That was still no Darisaw, and Kelly got knocked out. The rookie got knocked out. Donovan Jackson got hurt. And so, we had patchwork there. And in a game like that, those guys didn't get any reps. Like we had that rookie nose tackle center come in, and he hadn't taken the first rep. They didn't know his cadence, none of that, So they're on the sidelines trying to figure out cadence and, hand position and how they snap the ball and stuff like that in real time with no reps. So, with the injuries, if we know going in, and JJ has a chance to work with them that week, well, then at least some of those things, the pre-snap penalties are still big. 8 for 82 yards. That is a ton of penalties. Yeah. I mean, that just can't. That's 10 yards of penalty. That's every one is a holding or a false start or something. So those just can't happen. And a lot of those are on offense. There was some personal foul nonsense. Where they catch the second guy after our guys get hit, and then you touch him, and he just does a LeBron flop.
He does the flop.
Really, dude? That dude's 5'9", you're 6'4", 220 pounds, and this dude's 5'9", 165, and he barely pushes you, and you go flying on the ground. Like, come on, dude.
Got the penalty.
They have to. But see, you know what? I'm in favor of is it. Why don't you have replay assist for those? Let's see what really happened here, because we can't see everything. Why can't we go back and look and say, you know what? Offsetting penalties, because they always catch the second guy. Are you kidding me, bro? Like, come on, dude. Right. So look at the whole. Go back and look at the whole scrum, and then make your decision. Okay, yep. So after further review, we have offsetting penalties, offensive player, defensive player. We play on. You know what I mean? Because I'm going to say 9 times out of 10
with the flopping a 5-yard penalty.
With a flop, 5-yard penalty, With that goes in favor of the non-flopping team. It's just so stupid, dude. I'm like, come on, bro. LeBron is
even the announcers called it out.
I know. Greg Olsen, I love him. He actually, I'm not. I was like Greg Olsen, but actually, I kind of like. He was not that bad on the call. I wasn't. Terribly upset about Greg Olsen on the call. He was pretty funny. He talks about his own real life. Of course, I have a lot of experience with Greg Olsen because of he was the tight end for the Carolina Panthers when I was living in North Carolina, where the Panthers were good with Cam Newton and all those guys. Yeah, so he was pretty good tight end back in the day. So anyway, so like you said, there's not a ton there. Like I said, Wentz. 6 sacks, 14 hits, 32% pressure rate.
6 sacks. I mean, that's
6 sacks, 14 hits. So
6 sacks, and then still beat them on all stats is just crazy. And lose
and 2 turnovers. And the turnovers. You know what was interesting? I saw something, and Jaden was home this weekend. He was in Hillsdale all weekend, him and his wife. But they came straight over from Hillsdale this morning and watched the game with us, or a big part of it. And they mentioned something on the telecast about how they were playing like 2 deep safeties, or like cover 2 out on the sides, where they had safety back and then one on the sides and stuff like that. And so that what that does is that forces a quarterback to, like, try to hit the middle of the field, because that's kind of the soft spot. And so their pass rush is up the middle of the field, and that's how they were getting these tips. And so, like, the defense shows this shell, and so in the quarterback's mind, okay, I got to go over the middle because that's the soft spot. But then the pass rushers right at the middle, they get their hands up. I'm like, dude, like, the kind of stuff that they think about, it's so choreographed. Like, there's so much thought that goes into, okay, we're going to play this kind of defense in the secondary. So up front, you have to do this. And so that I had never really thought about before. And I was like, wow, that's such a great point. Like, okay, well, this is where it looks like it's soft in the pre-snap. So this is what we're going to do to offset that. And I'm just like, man, there is so much that goes into that. So, you tip your cap to the Steelers. You hate that it's Aaron Rodgers, because of our history with him. But they're a good team. I mean, they're 3-1 now. It remains to be seen how they go. I mean, they're
Paper Tigers at best. I mean, they're not.
I think so too.
They're not a good team because I mean, if we want to be fair, I mean, that one year when we were barely winning games with Kirk Chains and everyone's saying the same thing. Like, that's what I see them as. Like, it ain't gonna last. It's definitely not gonna. You're definitely not gonna. You can't. It's not going to hold up to the playoffs if they make it to the playoffs. Like, you can't play like that once you're just nothing but upper echelon teams,
Of course, the Ravens got spanked by Kansas City, so they're 1-3. The Ravens are 1-3, and Lamar Jackson got hurt. He might be out for a while. So the Ravens are definitely not the powerhouse that we had anticipated them being. So that bodes well for us because we have them the second week after the bye, or no, the fourth week after the bye, November 9th. So if he's still hurt there, but you don't wish that on anybody. But anyway, so
and we have our own injuries to contest with. I'm really worried about other teams. It's just I don't know. I don't know what else to say. I mean, it's like we're not even 30 minutes into this podcast, but it's just like, what's there to talk about? I mean, unfortunately,
not a lot. I'm not done with him yet. I still think that JJ McCarthy gives us the best chance to win, and I think that he will come back and play well. Obviously, he can run better, all these kinds of things. So, and I think KOC, this will probably be a good learning experience for KOC to really focus on, okay, we got to change things up a little bit, and we got to get this quick game going like we did, early on in that first drive where we were moving the ball, boom, 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 quick hitters, Jefferson, TJ, Adam Thielen caught a ball. I mean, he moved the ball around to different people. It was good to see. Great. It was great to have Addison back today. That was a big high point to have Addison back. The start of the game was amazing because I think, did they get the ball to start? Yes. And then we held them 3 and out because they got a big sack. First play of the game, JG, big sack. They had -2 yards to start the game. And then we come out there and the screenshot of the huddle.
Oh, I saw that. Yeah.
TJ, Thielen, Jefferson, Addison, Jordan Mason. I'm like, dude, like it looks
O'Neal.
To see all the names right there. Face. I was like, dude, this is so awesome. Yeah, here it is. There's our offensive crew. So the pieces are still all there, and maybe it's. I mean, obviously there can't be that many offensive linemen that are sitting on their couches that are worth a plug.
Right.
Nickel.
I mean,
is there somebody we can get? Is there somebody that we can trade for? Does Quasey have to get on the phone and just start really, flying out to some of these low-lying teams and just saying, hey, we need your number one guy. What is it going to take, kind of thing? I don't know. I guess that'll be kind of telling to see how much they're focused on winning now. Because if that is the case, then I think they probably maybe will try to do something to bring in some better options, because the depth is just not there. Like there's a big drop off between our starters and our second and third string, which is what we're, where we're at. And that's a big deal. Like, you can only go as far as your weakest link, and our offensive line is the weakest link. So what can you do? What
that's a tough one. It's kind of a double-edged sword, though, as far as like getting JJ back in there, it's like, well, if we have a beat up O-line, it's not that good. Like, I just feel like you're kind of setting him up for failure in a way, you know?
Yeah.
But he needs the reps too. So
the thing of it is,
I don't
KOC,
envy KOC right now.
No. Well, he's been on record how many times saying before that a lot of times he thinks it's not so much the young quarterbacks, it's that teams fail young quarterbacks because they expect them to win right now. They expect them to do this and that, and then they don't, and they just throw them to the curb, and then they become a reclamation project that KOC takes and fixes them, and then he sends them on their way, gets them paid, and then sends them on their way. They even brought that up in the broadcast about how KOC is like, the quarterback whisperer and stuff like that. So yeah, it's not ideal to put him in there, but what better way to learn than under the fire? You know what I mean? Like if he can come back and somewhat thrive, and KOC's not going to give up on him. That's the thing. I think it's a different situation with these other franchises that don't have KOC as a quarterback. I mean, as the coach, you know what I mean? So the fact that he may come in with a depleted offensive line and struggle, I don't think it changes KOC's mind or how he looks in his eyes at all. Right. There's zero. And obviously I believe that KOC is the ultimate and the final voice when it comes to all of that stuff, to the ownership, to the team saying, no, you have to trust me in this. And they do. You know what I mean? There's no Jerry Jones back there saying, we got to do something better. Yeah. No, it's KOC telling the Wolves, hey, just give me it. We're fine. This is what's going on. Quasey, we're good. Just let me work my magic. It might take me a little longer than normal. And maybe, who knows? You and I both say that, we see that JJ, he needs the reps and he's going to learn. He's going to be great. What if he figures that out going into week 11, 12, 13? He gets a pretty good season under his belt. He plays some of these really hard games, and we find a way to get in at 10-7. We get a wild card spot at 10-7, but then JJ's starting to really click toward the end of the season. You know what I mean? Like, there's so many things that can still happen. So I definitely don't want to give up just as a fan, and it's so early. Like, what would be the fun of that? And I believe it. I believe that there's a chance that we can still be really good.
Yeah, I don't know if I agree with that. We chance we can be really good. Not this year. I think we could be good. I think we could sneak into the playoffs. I don't think we'd make a deep run, but it's going to depend on health, obviously, that can be said for just about every team. But it'll be the defense. I mean, much like how Pittsburgh is winning. It's like, I think there's just going to be more times than not, I think the defense is going to have to bail us out this year. And that's how we're going to get our wins.
Yeah. Well, it's hard to turn Aaron Rodgers over when he's passing the ball 3 yards every time. You know what I mean?
That is true. True.
It's hard to kind of get a pick or, and those guys. I mean, did you see that tight end that they have?
He's like, dude's a lineman.
He's like 6'7", like 250 or something like that. The dude, he's the biggest tight end in the league. I mean, it was hilarious trying to watch them corners, them little 5'9" and 5'10" guys try to tackle him. I'm like, are you kidding me, dude? Like, I play basketball again. If I were to walk on a basketball court and see that dude, I'm like, what am I supposed to do against him? Like, can you imagine in football where you can throw people around?
Box you out, yeah.
I mean, he's just gonna shed you. I'm literally looking at it. I'm thinking that's Goliath, bro. That's like a bunch of Davids and a Goliath right there, and he's just throwing them off him. Like, get off me, little dude. It's like Andre the Giant or something. You know what I mean? Like, the dude was just massive. Yeah, exactly. I'm not Dwayne Pirate Woman. I mean, so I don't know that this game was that obviously. I mean, obviously we didn't play well at all, but I'll take that back. I would say we didn't play well at all. We didn't play well.
We didn't play that bad.
We just turned the ball over.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, you can't do it, but you take away the turnovers and we win that game. I fully believe even if we don't get into the end zone and it's 2 extra field goals, well, that's 6 points. We win by 3. I mean, it's like, you can't turn the ball over. Yeah. I mean, you at least have to get your own turnovers. You can't lose.
You can't lose the battle. Yeah, if we would have turned them over, even if we turned them over once, I think, even if we lose the battle by one, I think
Yeah.
one turnover and we probably win the game. It goes back to like the start of 23 when we had 6 turnovers in 3 games or something
crazy.
like that. We
Yeah.
had like 2 turnovers a game or something. So, you're just not gonna win those. So, but I don't feel terrible. I don't feel terrible. I still think that there's, plenty of good football out there. I still believe in KOC. I think the play calling was better. I thought, some of the quick stuff we got down toward the red zone, and he called some quicker stuff. We handed the ball off with some pitches and stuff like that. Some screen plays to get JJ involved. I mean, JJ was definitely, or Jets was definitely the focal point of the offense today. I mean, they started out boom,
for sure.
boom, getting the ball, 126 yards. I mean, and rightly so. So, maybe it's going to take a little bit.
And he slipped on the turf too. That could have been a touchdown.
The one to Jordan Addison. If that's McCarthy, I think he hits him in stride. He doesn't have to turn around. That's a touchdown too. I mean, did we get in that end zone or no? Was that a field goal? Did they hold us to a field goal? No, I think we got in on 4th down that one, didn't we? Or did we end up with a field goal that
I might have missed one because I watched it after the fact and I fast forwarded a few, which is not good because I don't remember. I think it was before the half. One of our interceptions before the half, I basically fast forwarded it through the entire 3rd quarter. It was out of frustration. I'm like, all right, I'm just gonna go way ahead and see what the score is. I'm so frustrated.
Well, the 4th quarter was the best one. I mean, it was, that gave us something to cheer about. We were yelling and screaming a little bit. So that was fun to watch. It's whatever. It is what it is. So going on to the Browns next week. In London, another wake up and watch football, which that was good. I made this casserole, breakfast casserole, which was really good, but I'll need to tweak it for the next time I make it. But it's pancake batter in a like a baking pan or a brownie pan or whatever, glass pan, and you put the pancake batter down, and then I bought a bunch of beef bacon and I crumbled all that. You crumble bacon in there, and then you cover it with, and then you put in like some soft scrambled eggs. They're not completely cooked yet because they're going to cook in the pan. And you put, I think I did like 4 or 5 scrambled eggs, and I threw those in there, and then you drizzle some maple syrup on there, and then covered it with cheese. And then you put sausage links. I put sausage links in there, like a pack of 12. And you put those all in there. Next time I'm going to cut those up into pieces because they were the long. I get turkey, but the sausage links, so I'll probably cut them up into pieces and then crumble those on there. And then you cover it with pancake batter again, and you put it in the oven, 350 for like 30 minutes or something like that. But I put too much pancake batter on top. It was about that thick, and so when it came out of the oven, the pan. It's like a 2.5-inch pan, and the top of it was 1.5 inches above the pan. It was just, and it took almost an hour to bake because the pan, when I went to cut into it, there was all just wet pancake batter. So next time I'll know not to put as much on top, but it actually really good. And then once it cools and you cut it and you serve it up, then you drizzle some maple syrup on there. That was really good. So I'm not opposed to the early morning game again. That was kind of nice to knock that out first thing, and then you can kind of go about your day.
Be better with a win, so you're in a better mood.
It would definitely be a better with a win to go away to watch, to be excited. But I don't know what the Browns. The Browns beat the Packers last week, 13-10, and then they got boat ran.
I think that's gonna be one I'm gonna have to listen to on the road because I believe.
You heading to Nodak again?
I'm picking up a dog. I'm picking up my puppy.
Oh, that's right. That's in, where is that at?
Meeting him in Detroit Lakes. I'm meeting him in the birthplace, the home of Adam Thielen.
Oh yeah, Detroit Lakes native. Adam Thielen. Are you gonna name your dog Thielen?
No.
AT. You call him AT. You call him AT.
It's a girl.
Oh, well, you can still call her AT.
No.
Anyway, so 9:30 Eastern. So that's 8:30 your time. So yeah, if you're up early and on the ROAD than you will be listening on a K-Fan, which would probably be better anyways, listening to Paul Allen.
Yeah, listen to PA. Yeah,
That
for
would
sure.
that would be a great.
I gotta go to my messages. I don't remember what time. I know I was meeting them fairly early in the morning, so not early in the morning, but to a point where like I would have to leave early.
Yeah, pretty early. Yeah.
Get over there. Nobody cares about me picking up my dog. I can tell you that, right?
Yeah.
10 o'clock. Meeting at 10. So.
And how far is it?
3 hours at least.
Oh wow, yeah. So you will definitely be on the road. So 10 o'clock your time.
I thought I'd go down there. I'll probably go down there Saturday night. So
the night before, yeah. Well, then you can get up and watch it.
Game. Yeah.
Yeah, you'll get 2 hours and a half of it. You'll get to halftime. That'll work out perfect. You get the first half, go pick up your dog, watch the second half, and then go home, or listen to it on the way home with AT. with AT. Your dog's name for me is AT.
No, sir. Our dog's name is going to be Rose. Short for Roosevelt, named after Theodore Roosevelt, the greatest.
What about Little Ann? Little Ann from Where the Red Fern Grows, my favorite book of all time.
No.
Yeah, so let's see. The Cleveland Browns are 2-2, I believe now. They lost. It might be. Yeah, I think they're 2-2. Let's see here. Where is this slider here? Preseason. No, they lost to the Bengals. They lost to the Ravens. Oh no, they just beat the Packers. That was it. So they're 1-3. The Cleveland Browns are 1-3, but their defense is really good. But
yeah,
I don't know. Good. The Bengals barely beat them. Now the Bengals are obviously not any good anymore. And then the Ravens just stomped them 41-17, and then they barely beat the Packers for their first win of the season, and then the Lions just stomped them. So really, in all actuality, if we want to say that we're a good offensive team or even a
we should win.
We should win pretty easy.
That's why. What I'm saying. This. I feel like this is kind of a must-win. I mean, you got to win going into the bye and get healthy.
And we got to win against teams that we should win. I mean, we got to win the games that we should win.
Absolutely.
Was this a game? I mean, we thought it was, but I mean, are the Pittsburgh Steelers good? I mean, they have 3 wins. They had 2 wins going into today. So, who have they beat? Let's see what their strength of schedule looks like. They got beat by the Seahawks, which we thought was not very good, but the Seahawks are actually playing pretty decent. They beat the Jets, which the Jets are not terrible. They beat the Patriots, and then they beat us. So yeah, they're 3-1 with a loss to the Seahawks. You know, the pride of KOC's quarterback camp,
right.
Sam Darnold, the other ginger. You know, I'm like, yeah, where's your ginger stat at now? That's why I was yelling at the TV. Throw the ball, ginger. What is wrong with you, Carson Wentz? You're supposed to win 83% of the time. KOC with the ginger quarterback. You're not going to help our stats at all.
You're not helping this percentage.
So we both had, unless you have anything else to add, I don't feel like there's
that's it. We can move on to this week.
So we have the Browns. We both had it as a win. I still feel like it's going to win. I don't know. I guess with the offensive line, now that we're struggling to get the ball in the end zone with the offensive line, I'm probably going to go like a 24-13, 24-17, 24-21, 24-20 is what I got. 24-20, we win.
I'm going to go 20-17.
Oh, okay. 20-17 win. So we both stay with the win. So yeah, I guess we shall see. It feels like to me not so much that this season's not going to be great. It feels like it's more going to be a we shall see every week kind of thing.
It is. I know. And so I'm kind of like, well, this is the seesaw season or the roller coaster season. We might just blow the Browns out too and be like, I don't know, are we good? Like, yeah. It seems like that's kind of the flavor of the so far. That's kind of how it, super highs and super lows. It's like,
and maybe the defense will show up because the Browns' offense obviously is not very good. Right. Joe Flacco is their is their quarterback. And actually, I don't know if he got pulled because they were getting beat, but they had their backup, who's, I don't know if he's like a rookie or something, was in there at the end of the game. I think they probably just got pulled because of the score. Yeah, Joe Flacco, I mean, the dude's, he's as old as Aaron Rodgers, but he's nowhere near as good. So hopefully we can get some pressure on him. So it might be another defensive stomp where we just make them look silly and we score 37 or 38 points again, or 40 points. And then we're just like back on cloud 9 again, going into the bye, which would be nice because then we get 2 weeks to think about how good we are. Or at least how good we were against the Browns anyway. So.
Yeah. But we shall see.
We shall see.
It'll be a long
20,
ride
I got
home
24,
for that
20,
Cowboy.
and you got 20 to 17. So, but again,
Yeah, I can't say
early morning, so I'm excited about that.
Not giving up on the team per se. Maybe just a little more realistic. Seeping in, maybe.
The rose-colored glasses have come off.
Cautious optimism with a little more cautious in it than optimism.
Well, I mean that's our entire life of fandom. I mean that is nothing new. That is nothing new for Viking fandom, but we just want to believe more because of the pieces that we have in place and our head coach. So I still believe it. I still believe in him.
True.
I still believe in the process, and I still believe.
We'll bounce back. We're gonna win going into the bye. And then,
we'll go 3-2 into the bye, and then JJ. Well, yeah, we'll just that stretch after the bye. That's going to be real.
Then we're left with going.
Yeah, then we come back to who
shrug
knows
emoji.
What happens.
You're like, let's see what goes on. So, all right, well, tune in next week. Thanks for watching, listening, and go Vikings.
Go Vikings. Goodbye. And the trombone to close it off.
And I tell you guys I love you. I mean it from the bottom of my heart. And that will never change. I will ride with this group until they don't let us play more games.